the graph was y
Hang on a second, you need to go get a note for that return.
3 sine open parentheses 2x minus pi over 2. So I factored out, and so I know that we used to do like with the stretch versus the shift, we used to do the stretch first. But like when you factored out the x minus pi over 4 was in parentheses, so would you do that first, or would you compress it first?
I remember we talked about this a bunch when we first started doing this, but tell me what the equation is again, please.
3 times sine of open parentheses 2x minus pi over 2.
Period, hallelujah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, and so what you just said to me was, did you do that, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so the question then is, what order are we doing this in, right?
Stuff in parentheses first, then 2 and 3.
Okay, yes, that's the way I think about it. I mean, what I do is I take, and we talked about, there are several ways of thinking about this. But what I do is I take the sine curve that ordinarily starts at the origin, and I'm gonna start it now at pi over 4. Okay, and frankly, when I graph any sine curve, I always do the same thing. I just pick the place where it starts. I make my first period, and then I say, okay, how long is this period? So for this problem, what's the answer to how long is the period? I'm sorry?
Pi.
Pi, okay? So I have to be done a pi later. So what's a pi later from pi over 4? Pi over 4. And then the interesting stuff on the sine curve and the cosine curve is the same thing, is halfway through and fourth of the way through. So halfway through is 3 pi over 4. Quarter of the way through is 2 pi over 4 or pi over 2, and then this one is pi. And then I would just call that 3 and that make 3. And there you go. So that's the first period. You know, you look like you have.
I just have a quick question, because don't you have to like compress it, or horizontally compress it by 2? So then wouldn't the period start at pi over 8 and end at 5 pi over 8? Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't compress it.
Go ahead.
I would say it's because you do the multiplication before the addition. So first you compress it, and 0 compresses to 0. So then when you shift it to pi over 4, it's already been compressed. So it doesn't get compressed any further. That's why it first stays at pi over 4.
But Tova just said to do the stuff in the the small parentheses first.
Yeah, like when you shifted pi over 4, and then do half of that.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're gonna do it that way, then what you need to do is, the thinking that you're doing is not factoring. Okay, so if you did that, then you would start at pi over 2 and then compress.
Okay.
Okay, and then that would
I mean,
again
like
bring you back.
looking at the second one though.
You're looking at here.
Yeah, like when you go from in the parentheses, like order of operation.
Right, thank you. So if you do that, then here we are at pi over 4. Okay,
Yeah.
and now I just compress the period.
Only the period.
Yeah, because if I now take this and move it to pi over 8, I have taken this thing and compressed it twice. I already compressed it once when I factored out the 2.
Okay.
Also, pi over 4, like if you put that in the equation, then it would cancel out, become 0, and the 2 wouldn't matter.
Right. Okay, you catch what Tova said? Irene?
Not really.
So if you put, so x is pi over 4 where it starts. So x, so pi over 4 minus pi over 4 is 0. 0 times 2 is still 0.
Okay.
So that wouldn't compress just the rest of the period.
Okay. All right, are we good on that then? Rena?
It's kind of like a similar question, but I just want to make sure that like kind of understand the process. For m, it's y equals cosine of 2x plus pi. So then we factored out the 2, so then I got.
Hold on a second, I was busy dealing with my pile of erasers here. Okay, tell me again.
Okay, so the original was y equals cosine of 2x plus pi, that's all, yeah. And so then I factored out the 2, so then it's cosine of 2x times the quantity of x plus pi over 2.
Okay,
And then, so you would shift it to pi over 2, and then it would just be like
so
but then
which
the
way is
period-
shifting it?
to the left.
Okay. So I'm gonna start at negative pi over 2, and when am I gonna be done?
At 3 pi, no, wait. 6 pi over 2? No, wait, what's a pi from at 3 pi over 2? I don't know.
What's pi from negative pi over 2?
Pi over 2.
Positive pi over 2. Right? And so then here we go. Alright, there's a cosine curve. And so this is pi over, negative pi over 4, pi over 4, up and down 1. And then let's go ahead and as long as we're at it, this was not. Let's make another period. See if you can label the important points on the next period there. Marie, what you got for the next bunch of points?
I did this wrong. I did the compressed twice, which.
Okay, so just think, let's just start thinking about it from here. So from here, and now I have another cosine graph, right? So where am I gonna end?
Um, 3 pi over 2,
Which she says with confidence becomes,
because the period used to be 2 pi, but now it's just 1 pi.
right, and 1 pi from pi over 2 is 3 pi over 2. So, who can tell me the other good values here? Strata?
That one is,
The next one, is that what you're getting ready to tell me?
yeah, that's 3 pi over 4, and then in the middle is pi, and then 5 pi.
Alright, we good? I'm thinking maybe we should take this idea to the board, so let's get a partner and, let's let everybody go to the board.
Fran, come on, give me one.
Yes, you can erase it.
Oh. Friends.
I'm with Dina. You can be in a group with us. Who needs to partner? Wait, is it a partner? No, the partner.
All right, so here we are. Our problem to do with the board.
We need to make more speed. It's too small.
F of x is equal to the tangent of, what should I make it? Let me make it something good. Oh, we'll do the 2x minus,
This is all in parentheses.
yes, sir, yeah, minus pi over 4.
So let's factor it. I think it's plus and over what?
So,
And
It's gonna be
Usually aren't
Okay, I'll
they?
take yeah.
shift it to the right. 4 8, so it's 5 8. So we're gonna do 5 8.
That's right. It's
Start with tangent x.
Tangent has S
So it's
yeah.
So we just can draw this and then make that
Wait,
one
yeah.
instead of one.
Oh, right, so it's so technically,
cross, right?
But
Now
aren't
it's
they
crossing
shifted,
a pi
right?
over 8.
Wait, you get that?
And then asymptotes,
That doesn't
Pi over 8.
so great, so what
Used to be.
asymptotes are normally at what, pi?
So negative pi half.
Yeah.
So then it's gonna be pi 4.
Right, so,
Negative pi half is a negative.
yeah,
No, wait, negative should be over there.
so pi, 5 pi, 3, 4,
Negative 3 pi over
3
8.
pi over 8.
And then yeah.
So you have
I mean, actually.
that next one and then 0.
The
You
period.
shifted over
Pi
to
over
pi over 8.
So,
Yeah.
it's just right, it gets compressed.
Then yeah, here's the pi over 8.
So,
Right.
Oh, no, no, that's right, that's right.
Negative.
So,
Yeah,
this is halfway between the others.
yeah,
Negative
negative
3
3.
is halfway between that, so that's 3 pi 8.
Okay, so.
Negative 1.5 pi over 8.
That's negative 5 over 8.
Okay, so let's fix that.
Oh, no, wait, no, wait.
It would be 3 times.
Negative 0, negative 1.
This is like, okay, just erase this.
Because here to here is 4 pi over 8.
That would have been, it would have been,
So our points are usually.
it would have been 9 pi over 8.
Right,
No, it would have been, you're right.
Yeah,
Pi
it's
over
minus
8.
half,
So
they
the
can't,
periods are,
I'm running
so the periods are full. Wait.
No.
Okay, wait, yeah.
Periods are 8.
Oh, no, wait.
No, because the normal page.
Don't tool it.
Pi
Oh, right.
divided by 2 is negative pi
And then,
over 2.
what is this gonna be? This is 2.
Yeah.
That's pi over 2.
So, okay, point at negative.
So,
So then,
Is that just
yeah.
on break, you're not on break yet.
Right.
Pi over 8 plus pi over 2.
Okay, so now the
Is that
period.
4 pi over
Yeah.
8.
7
7
pi
pi.
over 8.
Now the period is a
Yeah.
Point
Yeah.
at 5.
now, so, or then it's pi over 2.
Where are we getting these numbers from?
Oh, yeah.
So we shifted it over
Okay.
by 8, right?
Okay.
So then now it made,
So then it's at
Wait,
so
negative
so it's
1.
longitude,
Okay.
negative
Over 8.
3 pi over 8 and 5 pi over 8.
But we changed it, so it's just gonna be like.
Let's do domain range.
Okay, so,
So the domain
Good work.
is,
this is supposed to be the center, right?
all the numbers.
So from here to here,
So that's,
is
so
one
here
and a
is,
half pi.
here's
Jealous?
like
Is it the
K
same
pi.
as the sun?
Jealous? 2.5.
Alright,
Wait,
Yeah, see.
K pi.
no, no, there's not even.
Oh, wait,
Pi
negative
over-
domain.
Now it's at 5 pi.
Right, let's right in the middle.
Yeah.
Here's not equal to K pi.
3 k pi
Oh,
over
yeah,
8.
yeah, that makes sense.
So K pi
Irregular
over
tangent.
4 minus pi over 8.
Not equal, oh god.
That makes sense.
Oh.
2k, 4k plus pi
Pi over
over
eight.
8.
Negative 1.
Well,
Okay, so what's this thing? So it should be half pi over 2, the next pi.
So from the middle, you have half the period on one side, half the period on the other.
Yes.
How about if in the middle, you have half the
I don't know, I
period?
was thinking because
every half pi.
there's, oh
Okay, so,
yeah, cause it's right.
so, I think on this side, right, because
So,
we did over the pi over 8, and 0, and then 0 would be just regular.
Okay, so over
Pi
the
over
period,
eight.
and then the pi over 8 is shifted.
So I think that type right.
Does that work?
But then when we're looking back over here,
One half
because
over
when you
eight.
already shifted over.
Why wouldn't you
Here it is
have
pi over
four though?
Because
Yeah.
negative pi over eight.
And
So,
from-
from your regular,
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys know it would be, here, hold on.
Because, okay, wait, I'm just. So, normal one is.
Right.
You know what? Oh, no, I know, they moved the one.
in regular life stuff. Okay,
That would be good.
so this is.
No, the asymptotes are pi over 2.
That's not very true, not so.
I think the problem with that, we go to negative 4 pi over 8.
And the same thing with here.
And then negative, yeah.
So, you have, from the middle, You have
One
half
with
the
a
period.
one with a full cut.
Period.
Yeah.
So in the middle,
Yeah. So we have.
We have 2 pi over 8 from here, so we have to have 2 pi over 8 there. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
So if you shift it,
This is 2 pi over 8.
okay, whose work is this?
So then what happens?
Okay, so have we indicated that there's no vertical stretch? Okay, so there's a way to fix that, right?
Oh, where's the one?
Oh, this should be negative one.
Yeah, I think it's just we fixed it.
What is up?
I don't even know.
Four.
But the numbers are.
So it's half like this.
I
No.
don't think so, but this would be right.
Or 2 pi over 8 away.
so
So
now,
That.
But your scale is really big.
That looks beautiful.
It's really messed up.
it's really bad.
No,
it's too high. Negative.
It would be negative pi over 4, negative pi over 8.
Shift it over 1 pi.
I know, 0.
Four
I
columns.
didn't draw a graph, it's really bad.
Well, and then you
Oh, yeah. That's why.
Gotcha.
Negative pi over 8 plus pi over 8 is 0.
Oh, wait, there's 2 pi over 8.
This is terrible.
It doesn't make sense. It's
Wait,
okay.
you
Wait,
Trying to think, oh, can you just get this in here? I know,
It's
Negative pi over 6 over that.
Not so much.
Oh yeah, we're switching.
Okay, so.
yeah.
Except I
Don't forget
am.
the math thing.
Get better than I'll be paying attention.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, no, I kind of knew that you would generally slice off. I expected that.
Wait, what?
Oh! That's why I apologize. Sorry, it's like.
Is that?
All right,
Exactly, this is pi over 2.
And the next point.
how are we doing over here?
You told me to add pi over 8 pi over 2. No, that's what I
Okay, so tell me about this. Are you happy with that part?
This is really.
Okay, all right.
Maybe you can tell you're jealous of our beautiful graph.
Okay.
You know what? I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, if anybody feels better, you can just pi over 4.
Okay, great.
But then it's better.
What?
All right. So draw me your regular tangent. Yeah,
Dude, I just like copy.
I couldn't read my son, but I can see that.
There's some copy and paste it. It's like a tongue twister in it. I like in the morning.
Oh, did you pull an all-nighter?
Ask him to-
Yeah.
So, are you?
Okay, no, I actually, I had it.
So you're.
If you're done, you can put that in your notes, please.
Alright, you're a little loopy right now, aren't you?
No.
And we.
Why would I be loopy?
Sleep deprivation.
I mean, I'm fine.
So let's just get.
Really? Every time I go that long without,
I'll find out the call.
every time I go that long without sleep, I just,
Yeah.
it's really fun.
Because she makes me so I have to do really well in my rough drafts.
We go half the period
Yo,
this
we
way.
so should have won that game though.
I know this clear, we still trying to look too
Okay.
much.
So here, what's the period?
Too many errors on the field. It's all.
Yeah, how many errors in the field?
I kinda expected that. I don't know.
What was the regular
Somewhere
period?
but the first.
Wait, what are you doing now?
So half the period.
Oh, is it
I'm
on
not sure stop and lose the errors.
So it's 8 on one way.
It's just like running around.
It's 2x. So I think.
Oh my god. Here we go.
Okay, so now you just list the one that goes with pi over 4.
What was Connell's, who do you guys
Well,
play?
that's divided by 2. So now it would be negative pi over 8.
Yeah, I was
If you shift it that way, pi over 8. So negative pi over 8 plus pi over 8.
Pretty sure. That's right, it's over here.
Alright.
I think more than one person is on break already.
Today is the last day before spring
How
break.
far is it from here?
It hasn't set in yet, but at the end of the day, I'm just not going to
So from here to
I'm
here.
gonna go home and crash for a couple days.
I'm not here.
Alright,
No.
so ladies and gentlemen, it looks like, when we were talking, and let me see who's, well, like this one right here, so. Do I see those numbers already?
Ours?
No.
Yeah.
All right, good. And it's big, so let's look at it then, okay? moved it at 8.5 to the right. Okay. And the conversation I had with many of you as we were going around here was on our regular tangent curve, from the middle, I went half a period to the right and half a period to the left. So I have now moved the middle point, and then I'm going to go half a period to the right and half a period to the left. So the period here is pi over 2, so half of pi over 2 is pi over 4, so asymptote is pi over 4 to the right, pi over 4 to the left. And then our important point is halfway in between that, so halfway between pi over 8 and 3 pi over 8 is 2 pi over 8. Yes, sir?
Would graphing it like without the shift, but with the compression first and then shifting the whole thing over work?
Yes. Yes. And that would work too down there. Why don't we do the sign? Yeah. You're gonna do the new shift though, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
So if you factor out the two first, you can do the compression and then the shift.
All right, ladies, are you okay? You
Yeah.
had a light bulb back there or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Was yours right?
We made a really stupid mistake. We wrote pi over 16 instead of 0 for one of our points.
Okay.
But other than that, we're good.
Because you sort of have to handle it. I know what you're thinking, right?
I don't know.
So this right here is supposed to be -1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, forget this jazz right here. Okay. All right, we're good? Okay. Who's taking notes today?
Might be me.
I took them yesterday, so yes, you.
Yeah.
Have you taken any notes yet?
I will.
You're gonna up your game, you gonna go back and do some backtracking and
Yes.
so we have some notes for today? So you already have 3 things you're supposed to have in your notes. This one, and this one. Then you're gonna be mighty busy there, Hank. All right. What's oops. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. Suppose I said, and this is sort of related to, no, let's do this other one first. Let's go back to this other problem question. This question I started to do yesterday, and then I realized I hadn't told you what amplitude meant. Okay, so let's write the equation of a cosine function with amplitude equals 3, period equals pi over 2, and a vertical shift of 1. So, first of all, it says write the equation of a cosine function. So the first thing we have to do is when we're done, we have to make sure we have an equal mark somewhere, right? Or else we don't have an equation. And so I'm going to say f of x is equal to, and now I've got half the problem done already. Okay. So amplitude equals 3. Where is that? Well, actually, let's we know we're going to have cosine. Amplitude equals 3. What is that going to do? Alex?
3 cosine?
3 cosine, what do you think?
Amplitude is maximum minus minimum over 2, so then we have to figure out where the minimum would be if we needed.
So if we put a 3 out here, which is what Alex
The negative
proposes.
one will become negative 3.
Pardon?
The negative one will become negative 3 at the minimum.
Okay, yeah.
right?
And
So
that's
I'm
the same regardless of any vertical shift.
vertical,
Any,
Vertical
or
stretch.
vertical strip.
vertical stretch, right, yes.
What?
It's vertical stretch, not vertical strip.
No, I said
Sure.
that's the same regardless, I didn't say it was, I said it's the same, like, regardless of what you do with the rest of the equation.
Oh,
So
yes.
That's how I know it's 3 cosine.
Right, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so what Alex is saying is whether I move it up and down, if I put the 3 in the front, it still takes it 3 above the middle and 3 below the middle. So effectively, amplitude is how tall is it, right? Okay, Marie, were you gonna say something?
Is that because like the normal amplitude of a cosine is 1, and then when you multiply it by 3, you have to multiply the function by 3? Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, I'm actually gonna have to think this.
Okay, what do we think about what Marie said? Marie, you might need to say it again now that they know that you're supposed to be listening to me.
Because the normal amplitude of a normal cosine is 1, so if you make the amplitude 3, then you have to multiply the cosine by 3.
Are we okay? Does that sound right? Yeah? Go, Tova.
Does amplitude always apply to like the y values, or can it apply to x values?
Always applied.
It says it's max minus min over 2. It's the maximum y and the minimum y. So that, yes, it's always the y values. Okay? All right. All right, who's gonna tell me about, how am I gonna fix the period?
Well, your original period is 2 pi in the cosine graph. So to get it down to pi over 2, you're gonna have to divide the period by 4, which means in the cosine, to do a compression of 4, you're gonna have 4x rather than regular x.
Like that?
Yep.
Okay. People agree with that? So, okay, so let me remind, and then do I get to close the parentheses yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Because you don't have anything else.
Because I don't have anything else, this thing is a vertical shift, right? Okay, then what?
Plus 1.
Plus 1. Okay, so now, and this gets at the point that Alex was making, and I think sort of goes back to what Tova was asking about too. When I graph this thing, my 3 to -3 gets moved up, so it's gonna go 4 to -2. Okay, so it's gonna be 4 minus -2 over 2, I still get 3 out of that. Okay, so they both move. Go.
And then, anyway, what kind of helps me remember like amplitude and period is actually appropriately enough sound waves. Like amplitude is like how loud, like you've got a note, just pure pitch, whatever. You've got a note, like how loud it is determined by the amplitude. So the waves get bigger,
Okay.
whereas the pitch is controlled by the frequency. So it's like they get like compressed or like stretched out. You can do those two things independently of each other. So like
Right, so I could take a note and I could,
you can keep it the same pitch, but make it louder or softer by changing the amplitude, or you can keep the same volume and change the but make it higher by compressing it or lower by stretching it.
okay. So what we're gonna do after break is we're gonna actually play some notes and take a look at that. Okay?
And what I just realized is helpful is that and like for volume, the number gets bigger to get bigger and smaller to get smaller. For the pitch, to get higher, the note inside gets bigger because the frequency is increasing. To get lower, you've got a longer wave, so you've got a lower note.
So you have a bigger number on the inside here,
Mhm.
and the whole thing gets so much closer together.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. All right, now there was something else I was gonna say about this. What was that about? Oh, I know. If I have, f of x is the sine of bx, what's the period?
2 pi over b.
2 pi over b? Is that right? So if this was a 2 in here, my period would be shrunk in half. So it would be 2 pi over 2. Okay? So it's useful to sort of have in your brain